Hey everyone, this is Nate from StrayBlogger.com, and today I wanted to talk about two things, the most likely the two things that are holding you back from, getting what you want from your online efforts. And the two things, just to get right to it, the two things that hold most people back is not having a specific plan and not taking consistent action. And I'll obviously go into more detail on both of these in just a minute. Okay, there's the most common rut that people get trapped in is actually spending money online when they're trying to make money online. And most likely you're familiar with this. What it is just, the common thing that beginners do is they, at some point, they get interested in making money online and they buy a product, a training product at some point. And what usually happens is they'll work on that they'll get really excited about it and they'll work on it for a few weeks, maybe a few weeks, and it doesn't really work, or it doesn't work as well as they thought it would, and they just start looking around for something else, and you get one more idea or you buy another training and you forget about the first one, you start working on the second one, and obviously that just doesn't bring results. To try to do, you can't get very good at football if you practice that for a few weeks and then you start trying to get good at basketball. It's really the same thing. That's kind of what you're trying to do. The biggest thing is what people are actually doing when they're going through this cycle is they subconsciously they're assuming that they're going to find a training that just instantly, like, oh, okay, this is it. This is just going to make so much money, and it's not, it's easy to do. A magic solution, basically. And there's no secrets out there. There are obviously products and services that you can use that'll make this stuff a lot easier for you, but there is no secret. There's no secret that the gurus have figured out, or the guys that are making 20, 30, 40, even 10,000 a month. Like, all of us would be ecstatic to make 10,000 a month. There's just no secret they figured out. They figured out what does work, and which is the basic principles that most likely you already know. And they just work those, and they've been working them for months and years, and they've just scaled them to the level they're at. There's no secret to this. There's no secret tactic or anything. So to get back to the two things that are probably holding you back, the first one being a specific plan, and I think this is the most important. This does not mean a to-do list. This is how I used to do my planning. It's all I thought planning was. And what I would do is I would make this huge list of things, and I would be very ambitious, and pretty much, I wouldn't want to say dishonest, but with myself. But I would just make these huge lists of, I would write down, I want to redesign my whole sales page today. I want to rewrite, the second half of my ebook on website A. I want to redo the squeeze page on 3 of my websites, and I would just write all this stuff down to get done in one day. And what would happen is the first thing on my to-do list would just take a lot longer than I thought it would, as things usually do, and then I'd get stressed out. I only had 4 more hours to get all this other stuff done, and I would just eventually go into my my wasting time loop and not even do the rest of my to-do list. You're probably familiar with this. According to a lot of the psychology books I've read, it's just a very common way of just kind of an avoidance loop that we get into, and then we procrastinate. You're probably familiar with how that goes. And so, if some small thing goes wrong, you don't finish your to-do list. Here's the secret to effective planning. I might have read this somewhere. I'm not sure, but this is just really the only thing that works for me, and it works very well. Don't use a to-do list. What you need to do is, if you have been using to-do lists, or if not, it doesn't matter. Just think about the activities that you would do, to build your business online. Whether that's getting your autoresponder up and going, writing articles, writing blog posts, and then all you have to do is choose the one thing that will bring in the most results. If you're a blogger, that is going to be, well, for most people, it's going to be content creation. You have to have great content, or whatever you're doing online is not going to work. And so, unless all you're doing is CPA or pay-per-click type stuff, and then you're creating landing pages and redoing those campaigns would be number one. But for most people, I think it's just article writing and blog posts, really the same thing. And so all you need to do is make a goal for yourself of how much of that activity you're going to do each day. It might be writing, if you have 3 niche blogs that you're working on, it might be writing 1 article per niche blog each day. So that'd be 3 articles. And that's the only thing. You take that one activity, and then you set a realistic goal, a goal of how much of that activity you're going to do each day. And you don't plan anything else. Don't plan anything else. And what happens is, if you get up in the morning and you do that, if you still have a day job, I would recommend that you get up early enough. If it takes 2 hours or 3 hours to write those 3 articles, get up early enough in the day to do that. You don't have to do it this way, but my point is, you do your main activity before you do anything else. When you have, time to work on stuff, you do that first every day, no matter what. And after a month, you have 90 articles written. It just makes a huge difference. Huge difference. And the other thing that happens is, when you do this, when you get that main activity that is the most important thing for you to do, when you get that done each day, then you're a lot more motivated, and you'll just go on to get a lot of other stuff done. That's why I say you don't need to plan anything else. All that stuff will come as long as you're doing this, your number one activity every day before you do anything else. So that's the only secret to effective planning. And as far as consistent action, all that means is you only worry about your key activity each day, like I just said. Give yourself a goal of how much you want to do. Make it specific to the activity instead of just time. Instead of just saying, I'm going to blog for 2 hours, you could end up messing around and not even get 1 post done in 2 hours. Make it a measurable goal as far as the activity is concerned. Like, I'm going to make 2 new pay-per-click campaigns today, or I'm going to write 3 articles every day, no matter what. And that's what I mean by consistent action. And as always, for more info, more articles, trainings, podcasts like this, you can go to strayblogger.com.